Hey guys, welcome to our weekly news show here on Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb, your host, and today we're going to be talking about IPL 2020's unicorn startup sponsor, the newest potential entrant into India's nascent alcohol delivery space, acquisitions and mergers in the e-pharma market, Ritesh Agarwal's latest effort to promote entrepreneurship in India, all of the latest funding news and more coming up right after this. Alright, so first up in the news, India's only gaming unicorn, Dream11, is now the official sponsor of the upcoming 13th edition of Indian Premier League, or IPL, which is set to kick off in September of this year. Dream11 won the bid for sponsorship by putting up 222 crore rupees, that's $13 million, and in the process they beat out Edtech giants like Byju's and Unacademy, who had put in bids of 201 crore rupees, that's $26.7 million, and 171 crore rupees, that's $22.7 million respectively. Now, if you're not from India, then you might be wondering why startups are willing to spend so much money to sponsor IPL. Well, the main reason is because IPL is watched by so many people. At its peak last year, IPL was being watched by 462 million people simultaneously. That's 1/3 of the entire population of India, and it's more than the entire population of the third most populous country in the world, the United States. So in other words, sponsoring the IPL would be a dream opportunity for pretty much any company. But this exposure is actually going to be especially useful to Dream11 because they're already in the fantasy gaming business and cricket is responsible for a majority of their revenues. This is the perfect opportunity for Dream11 to expand their user base and get back some of the revenue that they lost during the lockdown when pretty much everything related to sports came to a halt. With 80 million users, Dream11 is already a market leader in India's fantasy gaming industry, which generated revenues worth 2,400 crore rupees or $320 million during the financial year of 2020. To date, Dream11 has also partnered with leading sports leagues like Pro Kabaddi League, International Hockey Federation, and International Cricket Council. So we're going to move on to the next news item in just a second, but before we do, if you're not already subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We post new videos every single week about Indian startups, entrepreneurs, and the latest news. Also, go check us out on Instagram because we're going to be hosting some live interviews with Indian entrepreneurs in the coming weeks and months. Alright, next up in the news, Flipkart is looking to get into the online alcohol delivery space. So back in June, Amazon had acquired a license to deliver alcohol in West Bengal. And it seems like Flipkart, Amazon's biggest source of competition in India, took notice of that. Flipkart has now partnered with HipBar to deliver alcohol to its customers in West Bengal and Odisha. However, instead of delivering alcohol from its own platform, Flipkart is going to act as a technology provider to enable its users to access HipBar's app through its platform. These alcohol orders will then be fulfilled by HipBar. This is definitely a nascent market right now, and every company that's in this space is trying to figure out their own approach to make sure that they can maximize their revenues, in spite of the fact that they're only able to operate in a couple of states across the country. Now, the Supreme Court of India had requested that all Indian states at least consider alcohol delivery as an option. This would reduce crowding at liquor stores, which is a really dangerous thing to do during this COVID-19 pandemic. However, it seems like most of India's states are watching from the sidelines to see how things go for the states that did decide to allow online alcohol delivery. Personally, I'm really hoping that this market opens up because it's a $27.2 billion opportunity for any companies that are able to overcome the regulatory obstacles. Alright, next up in the news, real quick, PharmEasy and Medlife have agreed to merge. They haven't merged yet, but they have agreed to merge. If they did end up merging, this new entity would be India's first online pharmacy unicorn with a valuation of $1.15 billion. According to their joint filing with the Competition Commission of India, PharmEasy would acquire a 100% stake at Medlife, and Medlife would be getting a 19.59% stake in PharmEasy. With Amazon and Reliance entering into the online healthcare market, we can expect to see more acquisitions and mergers in this space as the market moves towards consolidation. And speaking of Reliance, Reliance Retail has acquired a 60% stake in Netmeds' parent company Vitalic for 620 crore rupees or $82.6 million. This acquisition gives Reliance Retail 100% ownership of Vitalic's subsidiaries like Netmeds, Tresara, and Dadha Pharma. With this acquisition, Reliance Retail will be gaining access to Netmeds' 6 million customers across 620 cities. While Reliance is still a long way away from becoming an e-commerce giant like Amazon or Flipkart, they are aggressively trying to dominate the nascent e-commerce spaces that have popped up like online grocery delivery and e-pharma, which are expected to be worth $29 billion by 2024 and $18 by 2023 respectively. But just because they're trying to aggressively dominate these spaces doesn't mean that they don't have serious competition. Amazon recently entered India's online pharmacy space with the launch of Amazon Pharmacy in Bangalore, and Flipkart is reportedly exploring deals in this space as well. Alright, next up in the news, Oyo's co-founder and CEO Ritesh Agarwal is now going to be working with venture catalysts as an advisor and mentor to promote entrepreneurship in India. He's going to be doing this alongside the founder of venture catalysts, Dr Apoorv Sharma, in an effort to support entrepreneurs from smaller cities and towns. Talking about Ritesh Agarwal joining venture catalysts, Dr. Sharma said that his insights will prove tremendously valuable to entrepreneurs as we continue to execute our plan to build a robust infrastructure for startups in all Tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 cities across India. His learnings will also help many upcoming entrepreneurs who have the potential to build the next unicorn, but have very limited access to the right support and mentorship. When Ritesh Agarwal started his journey with Oyo, which was originally called Oravel Stays in 2012, he had come from a small town in Odisha. And back then, Dr. Apoorv Sharma was one of the first people who supported him. Venture Catalysts is one of the leading startup incubators in India, and they have a strong presence across a number of different Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Some of the leading startups in Venture Catalyst's portfolio include Beardo, Inc42, Kootloot, BharatPe, Innovate, and Go Mechanic. Alright, moving on to some funding news now. Short video sharing platform Trell has raised $11.4 million, that's 85.5 crore rupees, from Sequoia's Surge program, KTB Network, Samsung Ventures, Firebolt Ventures, Fosun RZ Capital, and WEH Ventures. Founded by Arun Lodi, Prashant Sachan, Pulkit Agarwal, and Bimal Kartik Reba in 2017, Trell is a video-based social commerce platform where users can share 3-minute videos across categories like beauty, recipes, fashion, personal care, and technology in any of the 8 Indian languages offered on the platform. These content creators can monetize these videos, enabling users to make a more informed lifestyle decision. Trell claims to have witnessed a 27x growth in the last 12 months and has more than 25 million, that's 2.5 crore monthly active users. Since the ban on Chinese apps here in India, Trell has witnessed a tremendous 500% growth, with its 15 million content creators getting more than 5 billion views every single month. The startup is going to be using this fresh capital to strengthen its technology platform in order to provide more personalized recommendations and enhance the user experience. They're also going to be using the new investment to groom 100,000 new option leaders across multiple languages to provide access to quality, purpose-driven content to more than 100 million users. Alright, next up in the funding news, but still talking about short video sharing platforms, Mitron has raised $5 million, that's 37.5 crore rupees, from Nexus Venture Partners, 314 Capital, and a number of different angel investors through the investment platform LetsVenture. These angels include Make My Trip's co-founder Deep Kaura, Pine Labs CEO Amrish Rao, and Jupiter's founder Jiten Gupta. Launched by Shivank Agarwal and Anish Khandelwal in April of 2020, Mitron is one of the video sharing platforms that rose into prominence as a made-in-India alternative to TikTok even before the app was banned in India. Mitron already has more than 33 million downloads on the Play Store and claims to have 9 billion monthly views every month. The funds that they've raised are going to be used by the company to boost user engagement on its platform by onboarding more Indian content creators and accelerating the development of its platform. Alright, next up in the funding news, Lightspeed India Partners has closed its third India-focused fund at $275 million, or 2,063 crore rupees. This is the firm's largest commitment in India so far. Their previous two funds had a corpus of $135 million back in 2015 and $175 million in 2018. Lightspeed has been investing in India since 2007 and was one of the earliest investors in India's startup ecosystem. Also, they happen to be a huge supporter of early-stage startups. 80% of their investments so far have been into seed and Series A startups. Last year, Lightspeed raked in more than $900 million, that's 6,760 crore rupees, by partially exiting from both Oyo and Byju's. They currently have 24 Indian startups in their portfolio, with a total investment of $750 million, or 5,630 crore rupees. Other successful startups in their portfolio include companies like Udaan, ShareChat, Shuttle, Zwork, Darwinbox, and Fresh Menu. Alright, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Backstage with Millionaires, and I will see you in the next one.